Hi everyone! I've been thinking about posting this video for a long time now, but just somehow never got around to it. Quick note, you'll be seeing subtitles throughout because I had filmed and edited this video so long ago and no longer have the original footage files. You're welcome to read the subtitles if you want, or just listen to me talk. Whatever works for you. Okay, so this will be a video showing you the state of my watercolor brush collection as of December 2021. Some of you may know I'm doing a no buy 2022 this year, so I was actually waiting for a brush order that I had ordered back in December to arrive, but it was late. At the time of doing this voiceover in January, I have now received that brush order. I thought about including those here, but it's exciting stuff, so I'm going to make a separate video for those. Let's begin, shall we? As you saw on screen earlier, I sort of separated the brushes into groups, so I'll be going in that order. Firstly, we have a set of Arteza miniature brushes. There are 5 each of round, spot, and liner brushes, all with differing sizes. I don't use these brushes all that much because I don't tend to be a tedious person when it comes to painting. So I keep these all nicely in this plastic case that used to house a travel brush and toothpaste. Look, they fit perfectly, don't they? Next, we have the group of brushes that I basically never use. This first one is the tiny retractable travel brush that came with the Cotman Pocket Box set. It's just too small to get anything done really, but it's cute and I like tiny things, so it makes me happy. These next 2 brushes are from Thailand. I can't find much information on them, but both of them have names of well-known Thai artists on them. The number 6 says Pukan Prayong, which basically says brush by Prayong. The bristles are made from the hair from a pig's ear or cow's ear, one of the two, I can't quite remember. It's soft, but doesn't hold a lot of water. The number 6 says Pukan Kong Sanga Mayura. He's an extremely well-known Thai artist. I'll try to remember to put images of his work on the screen here. It's not a brush made for watercolor, but I felt like I had to have it. I'm not sure where this cheap brush came from, so nothing to say about that. This is the retractable brush that came with Van Gogh's 12 half-pan set I got several years ago. It's decent enough to paint details or for painting small areas. I've done a video on this travel brush from See My Art, so feel free to go watch that for more information. Links to the video will be in the card above and or the description box below. I initially got it because it looked a lot like the Silver Brush's black velvet travel brush, but this was 1/10 of the price. Bottom line, I love it. It's a great brush. Moving on, our next group of brushes are the cheap synthetics. All these green ones are by Renaissance or Master Art. They're both local brands that are easily accessible in any stationery store. These here are the Renaissance. I've had these for years, still going strong. And these are the Master Art brushes. I'm not sure why it says Renaissance too. Maybe the companies merged? I don't know. These two are by a different Thai brand called Seikai. This one is a script liner. Doesn't have much of a point, but I like using it on its side for painting textures. And this other one is a flat brush that holds a decent amount of water. I don't use it all that much, but plan on playing with it more this year. This next group are my water brushes and large flat brushes. Here's the Seikai water brush, followed by Arteza's water brush that came with the 36 half-pan set. It's much longer than the average, so I don't use it much because it's not very comfortable for me. And this Caran d'Ache one, I don't even remember when or where I got this, but probably around the time I got into water brushes years ago. Here we have my one and only goat hair Hake brush. I've had this one for over a decade now. It sheds a whole lot, so I mainly use this for stretching paper, not painting. I got this cheap nylon flat brush to replace the Hake, but it doesn't hold as much water as I would like, so I also don't use it much either. And now I proudly present you my most favorite group of brushes, the Quills and Expensive Brushes! This first one is a number 6 red sable round brush by Rembrandt. It's my one and only sable brush, and honestly I'm not very fond of it. This is a nylon quill brush from See My Art. There's no pinyin, so I don't know how it's meant to be pronounced. It says Aishake on the handle. For anyone who's tempted by the price, trust me, don't get it. Save your money and buy a better brush. This one's horrible. Here we have the number 0 Seikai Squirrel Hair Quill Mop Brush. The bristles don't feel as densely packed as other squirrel mops, but I like it for what it is. Love, love, love these brushes by Jackson's Art. I have the Raven sizes 10-0 and 3-0, and the Icon Quill Brush in size 10-0. I wish Jackson's would make these into travel brushes. Does anyone agree? And now we have my most treasured brushes, the Raphael Squirrel Mop brushes. The 3-0 was a recent Black Friday purchase, but the number 2 I've had for over 10 years. Ideally, I want to add to this maybe a size 0 and a larger one, maybe a size 5 or 6. Both of those are in my approved wish lists, so hopefully I'll get to buy those this year. Check my No Buy 2022 video if you have no idea what I'm talking about. Links will be in the description box below. These last 2 brushes are the newest addition to my collection. The top one is the Tintoretto Synthetic Kazan Squirrel Mop Brush. The other one is Pro Art's Renaissance Mop Brush made with goat's hair. After laying them all out like this, can you tell that I really love my quill and mop brushes? And now I just want to quickly highlight some of my most loved brushes as well as plans for this year. This is my most expensive brush, the Raphael No. 2 Squirrel Mop Brush. These cheap round brushes, however, they're cheap but my great workhorses. And all these small-sized quills are my go-to brushes and probably the type I want to continue collecting. I plan on painting more A4-sized pieces this year, so hopefully I'll be able to use the Squirrel Mop and the flat brush. I already mentioned in my no-buy video that I want to be able to give thorough reviews of some products, 2 of which are the Tintoretto and Pro Art brushes. I was thinking about if I had to get rid of my whole collection, which brushes could I not live without? That would be my most expensive brush, the Raphael No. 2, followed by the Jackson's Icon Quill, Raphael 3-0 Mop, and the Seikai Mop. What about you guys? Which brushes from your collection could you not live without? And do you have a particular type that you collect, like how I collect my quills? Comments down below and we'll talk brushes. As always, thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to drink lots of water and stay hydrated.